And also we might just be in a situation where we've got, X number of students who are good enough, but we don't have enough places.
Yeah.
And that might be true across the collegiate university, the pool system, which I'm sure you've got podcasts covering the pool in detail. But, to reiterate the point, it is true that, hopefully, I would hope that all deserving candidates we can find a place for, but that's not always going to be possible, because there's lots of really smart students out there. And at some point we just can't take any more. So I would never want an unsuccessful candidate to think that the decision not to offer them a place is a reflection on their ability or potential in life.
Which is very true.
There is ultimately there are only so many places we can offer.
Yeah, because it is true that logistically there aren't enough places in the university to provide offers to all those who are deserving of one.
Yeah, and I really can't say hand on heart that every student I've ever who's interviewed with me and gone through an admissions process with me, to whom we haven't offered a place, wouldn't have succeeded here. I'm sure that they would have done. But what I can say is that the students who we do offer places to, and who make their grades and who come, deserve to be here, because they've gone through a very rigorous, very serious process, and that gives us confidence and should give them confidence that they can succeed and indeed thrive when they're here at Cambridge. And I think that's one of the best things about our admission system, really, is that everyone has a chance to make sure that this is really going to be the right environment for the student.
Because I think that kind of imposter syndrome is so common with students. I remember I had a bit of it as well.
Oh yeah.
Same. I remember thinking I had it in two kind of ways. One way in that I thought everyone else's imposter syndrome was clearly flawed. But yours was real. Mine was real. Because I was actually an imposter. But then a bit later I realised that was also imposter syndrome. And then the other thing was that I remember thinking that I did really well in the interviews. My application was really strong, and kind of was in a position where I wasn't, I guess, performing as well as I thought I was at the start, and then thinking that I was an imposter because I was not that same person. But then I kind of realised that that's in the interview, at the end of the application, they're giving out offers. What the admissions officers and the DOSs, the directors of studies, what they're saying is that from what they've seen in the application, we believe in you, and we believe that you're deserving of an offer. So even if you're, whatever route you take, you're never an imposter because you've had that faith put into you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I want our students to see it as a really genuine vote of confidence. Exactly. And that confidence doesn't go. One of the great things about studying here, and I know my colleagues in there are going to sort of talk more about the law degree, is the support that you get as a student from your directors of studies, from your supervisors, from your pastoral tutors. There's a lot of help on that journey. But look, when we take a student and they come up at the start of the first year, if it was all going to be easy for them, then really, there's no point in me having a job, right? Don't tell the bursar, because they'll just get rid of us all. If it was easy, what's the point? It's a sign that we know that you have the potential and the skills that you need to develop across a 3-year degree, and come out at the other end of it with a really fantastic and highly transferable set of skills. Cambridge lawyers make excellent lawyers, but they're excellent in a whole other range of areas too. And I think it's important that potential applicants to Trinity Hall know that we don't care whether you've got lawyers in the family, whether you've been able to do any work experience in law, because sometimes that can be difficult if you don't if you just don't have those opportunities for whatever reason. We make our offers irrespective of race, gender, religion, where you were born, where you come from. What we want to find are students with that potential and that ability, and it's important to us that students from backgrounds which are traditionally underrepresented at institutions like ours feel really strongly encouraged to apply here. And I'm sure there are podcasts on the way we take contextual information into account in the admissions process. As law fellows, we're really committed to that process and making sure that inclusivity is a real understanding of educational inequality is part of our process. That isn't to say that there are different standards we expect people to reach in a kind of substantive sort of sense. Everyone who gets a place here is I know, deserving of a place. And that process is really rigorous.